WMAQ Sports.
The 22 Gingas Formal Wear Centers bring you the Hawks' first period show with the score, the Chicago Blackhawks 4, the Los Angeles Kings 0. At Gingas, we sell service. It's our formal wear we rent. I'm Lloyd Pettit with Harvey Wittenberg, and we'll be right back with a recap of the first period action after this.
In 1936, our first year, the sign on our door read, Gingas Tuxedos will fit you or die trying. For a while there, it looked like we might die trying. Luckily, someone was always saving us. An Irishman would walk in and say, Saturday I'll be taking myself a bride. Make me look something grand. An Italian would come in saying the same thing. Make me look bello affascinante. And the Jew would enter with his father, and the father would point to the boy and say to us, you should only make him look like a mensch. Today, we at Gingas rent more formal wear than anyone else. Maybe because in that first year we listened to what every groom was saying to us in his own special way, make me shine in the eyes of my love. When that kind of thinking goes out of style, we at Gingas Formal Wear go out of style.
There's a Gingas store near you in Chicago at 521 East 47th Street, in the Ford City Shopping Center, in Mount Prospect, in the Mount Prospect Plaza, and in 18 other Chicagoland locations. Well, hello again, everybody. Lloyd Pettit reporting along with Harvey Wittenberg from Chicago Stadium. The Blackhawks lead the Los Angeles Kings by a score of 4-0. And Harvey, it looks as if the Blackhawks are displeased enough with the short road trip to take it out on Los Angeles.
Well, we've certainly exploded in offense in the first period, Lloyd, and we've taken advantage of almost every Los Angeles mistake to capitalize and beat Vachon and get a 4-0 lead. And it's certainly been a long time coming for this offense to explode.
Here's the recap on the first period. The opening goal of the evening came at 5:38, scored by Bobby Hull, his 13th of the year, assisted by Martin and Mackey. At 12:06, it was 2-0 Chicago, and a goal by Darryl Maggs, his second of the year, assisted by Brian Campbell. At 15:54, an unassisted goal by Stan Mikita, his 10th of the year, making it 3-0, and the fourth goal of the first period at 17:16, scored by Pitt Martin, his 8th of the year, assisted by Chico Mackey. Penalties in the first period. Los Angeles, Whiting for tripping at 2:56, Pulford of Los Angeles for holding at 9:56, Chicago's Korat for tripping at 13:04, Los Angeles' Hillman for holding at 13:39, and then back-to-back penalties against the Blackhawks, which will carry over to the second period. Chicago's White for hooking at 18:51, and Chicago's Magnuson for interference at 19:20. Shots on goal in the first period, Chicago 13 and Los Angeles 9. A 4-0 hockey game in favor of the Blackhawks, and now, with our replay, let's go back to 5:38 of the first period. Joyal can't clear it out of the corner. Stolen away by Bobby Hull. Led into the slot, but just out of the reach of Chico Mackey. Stolen by Martin. Martin to Bobby Hull on the right side. A shot and a goal! By Chico Mackey, alert work by Pitt Martin in making the pass to Bobby Hull just off the corner of the crease to the left of Vachon. Bobby had complete control of the puck. He faked Vachon right out of position, moving on to the left side, and he flipped it into the net for number 13 for number 9, and the Blackhawks have the lead 1-0. And that score remained until 12:06 when Darryl Maggs, who suddenly is handling a pretty hot stick, got going offensively for Chicago. Stolen by Darryl Maggs, coming in close on the right wing, a shot and a goal! Darryl Maggs stole the puck very quickly just inside the Los Angeles blue line. He moved in on the goaltender all by himself from about 20 feet out. He let go, lifted the puck high over the shoulder of for his second goal of the year, and the Blackhawks have the lead 2-0. So then at 15:54 of the first period, and I know if we had the opportunity at this moment to give a little bit of a needle to Stan Mikita, he'd accept it beautifully. He might even admit that this was a clearing pass, but it turned out to be a goal. And as we said at the time, we know for a fact that Stan will take them no matter how they come. Los Angeles, Mikita behind the net, trying to center, and deflected shot, and a goal! Take him any way we can get him. Mikita from the backboard, behind and to the right of Rogatien Vachon. Literally centered the puck into the slot, into a sea of skates. It deflected into the crease, and it appeared to us as if it finally went in off the goaltender himself. The Blackhawks have the lead by a score of 3-0. And, of course, in quotes, an unassisted goal for Stan Mikita. And the final scoring of the fourth period came at 17:16, a beauty by Pitt Martin. Stolen away by Martin, the Hawks 2-on-1. Martin on the right wing over the blue line. A shot, a goal! Shreds in the Los Angeles defense, with Pitt Martin and Bobby Hull moving down the ice 2-on-1. Bobby was on the left wing. Martin kept the puck on the right wing, faked his pass to Bobby, went ahead with his shot, and he beat Vachon, and the Hawks lead by a 4-0 score. And that's where we stand at Chicago Stadium as our first intermission continues. The Hawks 4, Los Angeles nothing. Your friendly Chicagoland Shell Oil dealers and Meisterbrow, Chicago's big one. Meisterbrow gives you more of what you drink beer for. Present.
Here comes the mighty
Yes, it's Chicago Blackhawks hockey time. Live and direct from the world-famous Chicago Stadium, we bring you the swift action, the rugged excitement, and the tense competition of National Hockey League play. This is Lloyd Pettit with Harvey Wittenberg, and we'll be bringing you the instant action as well as instant replays of the big action in tonight's game, the Chicago Blackhawks versus the Los Angeles Kings. This hockey game is brought to you through the courtesy of Arthur M. Wirtz and the Chicago Blackhawks. I'll be right back to briefly set the stage for the rest of tonight's game in just 1 minute.
And then the last time in here at the Chicago Stadium, we blanked them 4-0 with Tony Esposito in the net. So Vachon gave up 4 goals, and although he didn't look too sharp, he certainly didn't have much help, as they were all direct errors of the the LA defense.
What kind of a goaltender is Gary Edwards as opposed to the style of Rogatien Vachon?
Well, he doesn't scramble as much as Vachon. He's a little taller. This is his rookie year, and just in the couple games we've seen him, he seems like a promising goaltender. And of course, LA's had their problems. They're on a long road trip. They've had 3 games. They've lost 3 and haven't been close in too many. And of course, they're down in the basement in the Western Division, so they've had a rough time. And so far, they certainly haven't had too many opportunities here tonight. But now they got a 2-man advantage here as we start the second period. This broadcast comes to you by the authority of the Blackhawk Properties. Any use of the description or play-by-play without the express written consent of the Blackhawk Properties is prohibited.
As Harvey just mentioned, the Blackhawks will be down by 2 men because Bill White went for hooking at 18:51. He has 51 seconds to serve in his penalty, and Magnuson went for interference at 19:20. He has 1:20. So the Blackhawks killing penalties, and they are outgunned by 2 players. The face-off to start the second period won by Los Angeles and carried over the Hawk blue line on the left wing, and the whistle blows for an offside play. Gary Edwards taking over the net chores for Los Angeles and Rogatien Vachon here in the second period. Coming into this action with a goal against average of 3.79. And Gary Smith for Chicago with a goal against average of 1.93. Back into the Los Angeles zone. Hillman controlling, gives to Pulford. Pulford moving it out to the center ice position, to the Hawk blue line, spreading him out on the right side. He's at the near point, throws it to the far point. And here is Lonsberry winding a shot, and a save by Smith. Back in the slot, Larry Hillman with a shot, and another save by Smith. As it hit his pad on the left side, started to deflect into the net. Smith reached over with the left-hand glove and grabbed the puck. A fine move by Chicago's goaltender.
Kings putting on the pressure with the man advantage. They've got some real NHL veterans out there, and Bob Pulford, Rio Lemieux, and Ross Lonsberry always does very well against the Blackhawks.
The face-off will be to the left of Gary Smith. Bobby Hull for Chicago, and now they've changed that. Stan Mikita will be the face-off man for the Hawks. He'll be opposed by Bob Pulford to the left of Gary Smith. 15 seconds left on the penalty to White. Magnuson with a total of 45 seconds left on his penalty. Face-off in the Hawk zone. The draw won by Los Angeles. Mikita checking on the near side. Now Stapleton gets in on the loose puck, trying to clear it out of the Hawk zone. Can't do it. And it's on the near board of the Hawk zone, and the whistle blows. The referee tonight is Art Scove, the linesman Claude Bouchard, and Terry Pierce. Children admitted at half price to all Blackhawk home games now on giant screen color theater TV. See the Hawks in action at the Bismarck in the Loop, the Beverly at 95th and Ashland, and the Ritz in Berwyn. Children admitted at half price. Groups call Randolph 65400. Bill White should be coming out of the penalty box in just a couple of seconds now. Good ice position remaining for Los Angeles in the Hawk zone. The draw after the face-off to Stapleton. Stapleton leads it out to center ice and Mikita. Bill White out of the penalty box. Mikita over the blue line, moving into the slot position, leading to Bill White. Bill White, a backhander, it's off the post. It was off the post on the far side. Almost a shorthanded goal for the Blackhawks. Back to center ice and to the Hawk zone. Picked up by Joyal. Has to retreat a little bit. Back to his blue line. Gives to the near side to Harry Howell. Harry Howell gives to Bill Flett over the Hawk blue line on the right wing. A long shot. Easily taken by Gary Smith. Poked into the near corner. Right back to Bill Flett. He centers. But Bill White grabs it and clears it back to the blue line. And now Magnuson out of the penalty box. The teams are at equal strength. Here's Howell with a shot. Deflected off the skate. Up over the glass in the far corner. And somebody has a souvenir.
As we mentioned, we've had a rough time in that Western swing, losing in Vancouver and the California Seals. At home, we're unbeaten in 11 games with 10 victories and 1 tie. And we're going for stretching that streak to 12 games. We haven't won on the road since October 30th when we defeated the Kings in L.A. 5-1.
Face off outside the Hawk blue line on the near side of the rink. The draw back to Magnuson. From the far side of the near side to Jarrett. Jarrett out to center ice. A long slap shot is wide to the right side. Rebound off the foul board. Magnuson with a shot. Intercepted and poked away by Marat. Into the far corner. And deflected from the stick of Mikita to Coral. He can't hold it. Poked out to center ice, and it skids past Magnuson back into the Hawk zone. Onto the stick of Gary Smith. He pokes it over to Magnuson. Magnuson into the near corner to Jarrett. Jarrett trying to hit Mikita at the blue line. It got away from him. And all the way back into the Los Angeles zone. Marat is on it in the near corner. Being forechecked by Cliff Coral. Around the far corner in the pass. Magnuson tries to keep it in. Slips, goes into the backboard, or rather the sideboard on the far side very heavily, but he's all right. As the puck is deflected back out to center ice. Now to the Hawk blue line, and Magnuson poking it to the near board right in front of the Hawk net. Led by Dennis Hull to Stan Mikita, but poked away by Harry Howell. Back to center ice and Magnuson. From the far side of the near side, Dennis Hull dumps it over the blue line, and Harry Howell is on the loose puck, and he skates it behind his net. We are 2.5 minutes into the second period. The Blackhawks leading by a score of 4-0. 4 big goals in the first period. The puck led into the Hawk zone off the stick of Gary Smith. And around the near corner, taken by Flett. Dumps it in. Centering pass, poked away by Magnuson. Back to the near board. And Dennis Hull, a nice pass to Mikita. Mikita to the center line to Dennis Hull over the blue line. Trying to return it to Mikita. It was deflected away and out. Poked into the near corner of the Los Angeles zone and taken by Harry Howell. Howell coming out on the left side. Moving it out to his blue line, being forechecked by Pitt Martin. Gets to the center line, flips it into the Hawk zone, around the near corner, and behind the net, Gary Smith for Dennis Hull. Dennis Hull picking it up, moving it out. He's at his blue line, poking it ahead of the center line, swept away from him, and on it is Lonsberry. Gives on the right wing to Lemieux. Lemieux returning to Pulford. Pulford deeper into the right wing in the Hawk zone. Trying to return to Lemieux. The play is broken by Magnuson, and Magnuson scooping it ahead, trying to get it to Bobby Hull. Bobby Hull can't hold the puck. He was checked in the play. It's loose at center ice, picked up by Lonsberry. Brought into the Hawk zone on the right wing. Leading off the near board. Deflected away and picked up by Pitt Martin, and Martin comes back 1-on-2. Martin to the blue line of Los Angeles, spreading him out on the right side. His lead-in pass deflected into the far corner. Bobby Hull is checked away on the play, and Lemieux picks up the loose puck behind the net. And back to the near point. Stapleton leading into the slot, intended for Bobby Hull, poked away from him. There's the lead pass to Martin, and a quick shot that looked like it came off the stick of Lonsberry on his own goaltender, and Edwards had to make the save. We pause 5 seconds for station identification.
This is WMAQ, Chicago.
Blackhawks, of course, still bothered by injuries to Danny O'Shea, who has a muscle pull, and Jim Pappen with a shoulder sprain. They hope to be back in action Wednesday against New York.
From the face-off, a quick shot from the far point by Bill White was wide to the left side. Out to center ice, Los Angeles brings it into the Hawk zone. Into the near corner, and Bill White intercepts, goes behind the net into the far corner. Now Martin gets in on the play as it's off the far board, still in the Hawk zone. And held on the far board as Art Skov blows the whistle and will have a face-off in Chicago ice. Leon's old-fashioned sausages are plump, juicy, and meaty. Pick a winner, pick Leon's.
Hawks coming in the game trailing the first-place Minnesota North Stars by 5 points. And in the third period at Buffalo, it's Buffalo 2 and Minnesota 1. Other games after 2 periods, St. Louis 1, Detroit 1. In the third period, Philadelphia 3, Oakland nothing. In the third, New York 5, Vancouver 3, and no score between Pittsburgh and Boston after 2 periods.
Face-off in the Hawk zone. The draw won by the Blackhawks. Stapleton dumps it down into the Los Angeles zone, and on the interception and along the near board as Lonsbury takes a solid check from Pitt Martin. Throws it to the far board. Now Chico Mackey on the interception at the Hawk blue line on the far board. Drops it back to Bill White. Bill White from the far side of the near side, and Stapleton leading Chico Mackey just slightly overled at the blue line, and the play is broken. The puck is dumped back into the Hawk zone. Bill White retreating the length of the ice. The whistle blows. An icing call against Los Angeles. Good ice position coming up for Chicago.
For your Blackhawk team photo, just send $1 to Team Photo, care of Blackhawk Properties, 1840 West Madison, Chicago, Illinois, 60612.
Face off to the left of Gary Edwards, and the draw won by Los Angeles. Lonsbury pokes it behind the net and into the near corner, and Mickelson wheels around in the near corner of his own zone. Now being forechecked by Bobby Hull, gets it up to Lemieux on the near board. Lemieux having trouble digging it off, finally does. Out to center ice, Chico Mackey breaks up the play, but it goes to Fulford on the left side of Lonsbury. A long shot and a save by Smith, and Smith bats it away as the puck is ruled dead with a stick over the shoulder call. Goal scorers for Chicago in the first period. Bobby Hull, his 13th. Darryl Maggs, his 2nd. Stan Mikita, his 10th. And Pip Martin, his 8th. The goals coming at 5:38, 12:06, 15:54, and 17:16. We are scoreless thus far in the second period, coming up to the 5-minute mark. Face-off outside the Hawk blue line on the far side of the wink. The draw into the Hawk zone and taken by Magnuson from the far side of the near side. Now Korab back to Magnuson, and Magnuson skates it out to center ice, leading to Campbell, but overled. Into the near corner, it skids behind the net. Campbell digging for it, trying to throw it around the far corner. He's checked by Whiting, and Maggs gets into the act along the far board, still in the Los Angeles zone. Led back to Jarrett inside the blue line. Jarrett with a quick shot, broken up, and no rebound for Korab. Poked away by Hillman. Korab with the puck on the near board, being checked from the rear by Hillman. Loose puck brought out to center ice now and carried out by Byers. Byers leads in the left wing, but beating Whiting can't hold it. It goes to Maggs, and Maggs carries it over the blue line, but loses control of the puck and is back to center ice. Poked at by Magnuson over the blue line of Los Angeles, and the Hawks had failed to clear an offside play at the L.A. blue line.
Young Darryl Maggs, who scored the only Blackhawk goal Friday night in Oakland, has got a second NHL goal of the season and his career tonight, so he's starting to score. He's wearing old number 17, Kenny Warren's number, so maybe it might be a little lucky for him.
From the face-off back in the Los Angeles zone, Hillman leads it out to center ice, brought over the blue line by Whiting. Whiting is checked by Magnuson. Loose puck in the near corner of the Hawk zone, and Byers. Stolen away nicely by Campbell, and the Hawks come back 3-on-2. Campbell to the center line, leading in the left wing to Korab. Korab back into the slot to Campbell, and Campbell's shot was deflected behind the net and poked into the near corner. Darryl Maggs digs for it off the near corner. He centers, but it's intercepted just off to the right of the goaltender Edwards by Marat, and Marat throws it the length of the ice. Back behind the Blackhawk net, Doug Jarrett is there to touch the puck, and icing call against Los Angeles.
The Chicago Bulls are here at the stadium.
Time out on the ice and time for another shell hockey fact. As you probably know, charging an opposing player can draw a major or minor penalty, but some fans are a bit confused as to what constitutes charging. Well, all it takes are more than 2 steps or strides, and the referee can call it charging. Incidentally, a goalie is not fair game just because he's outside the crease. Referees will call charging or interference where an opposing player makes unnecessary contact with the goalie. And that's a fact brought to you by Shell dealers in the Chicago area. face-off in the Los Angeles zone, the draw to the Kings. And out to center ice, Eddie Joyal trying to beat Bill White on the left wing. Bill White puts him down, and the arm is upraised by the referee. We have a penalty coming up against the Chicago Blackhawks and Bill White. We'll be back with more in a moment. Time out for the mighty Blackhawks. Time in for Meisterbrow, the crowd pleaser, Chicago's big one, and no wonder. This one comes tumbling out of a bottle or can as frosty, crisp, and clear as it does straight from the tap. That's why Meisterbrow is served and enjoyed in more Chicago homes than any other beer brewed anywhere. Meisterbrow gives you more of what you drink beer for. Meisterbrow Incorporated, Chicago, Toledo, San Francisco.
Bill White called for holding at 6:32, so the Hawks have a man short and a power play opportunity for the Kings.
And in the Hawk zone, Magnuson gets the puck in the far corner, and even though he was tightly checked from the rear, he was able to clear the zone all the way back behind the Los Angeles net. Coming up to the 7-minute mark in the second period, the Blackhawks 4, Los Angeles nothing. They have the manpower advantage. Center ice play to Corrigan over the right wing on the blue line. And picked up now by Potvin. Potvin off the near board. His centering pass is deflected by Angotti. Poked away from Angotti by Joyal, but cleared by Doug Jarrett out to center ice. Potvin from the near side to Corrigan on the far side. Loose puck to Lou Angotti. Angotti wheeling around at the center line, retreating it into the Hawk zone, and Magnuson on the far side, and Maggie flips it the length of the ice. 1 minute and 15 seconds left to go on the penalty to Bill White. Lloyd Pettit reporting along with Harvey Wittenberg, WMAQ 670. Center ice play for the Kings. Dumped into the Hawk zone, into the near corner. Comes off that corner, out of the stick of Smith, and goes into the far corner. Taken by Bill Flett. Bill Flett drops it back to the far point, and Corrigan. Corrigan to the near side, and Potvin winding a slap shot, and it's deflected to the right side and off the backboard and into the near corner of the Hawk zone. Angotti digging for it. Angotti digs it off the board on the near side. Out to center ice, and Nesterenko is ridden right into the near board by Potvin as the puck is dumped back into the Los Angeles zone. 40 seconds left in the penalty to Bill White. Possession to the Kings in their own zone. Coming out on the right side is Corrigan. He's at his blue line. To the center line, leading on the right wing to Backstrom. Backstrom is checked by Angotti. Slips, falls down. Angotti picks up the loose puck. He's 1-on-2 at center ice. Now Jarrett comes on from the rear. Led to Jarrett on the right wing, and Jarrett comes on in front. And he tried to get his shot away, but he did not have control and couldn't get accuracy on it. It went by to the left side. Out to center ice, Chico Mackey doing some poke checking. Now it's over the Hawk blue line on the right wing as Doug Jarrett wanted to throw a check into Bill Flett, but he dumps it out to the blue line anyhow on the near corner. And Bobby Hull forces the puck to be held on the near board just inside the Hawk blue line along with Harry Howell. The penalty is almost over. Your holiday entertaining can be made more exciting by serving chilled Isabel Portuguese rosé wine. Is there a better way to say much love?
Another fine job of penalty killing by the Blackhawks as the Kings on his power play opportunity really haven't had one good shot on Gary Smith.
Face-off will be just inside the Hawk blue line on the near side of the rink. Just a couple of seconds remaining on the penalty to Bill White. Chico Mackey will face off with Bob Pulford. Waiting for the puck to be dropped. It is, and the face-off is won by the Blackhawks. Bobby Hull to Stapleton. Stapleton throws it off the near board. Back in the Los Angeles zone. The penalty is over. Bill White back on the ice, and the teams are at equal strength. 4-0 in favor of Chicago. The puck in the Los Angeles zone, off the near board, and out to center ice, taken by Lemieux. Lemieux to the Hawk blue line, into the slot, dropping it back to Pulford. He's forced to go to the far board. Pulford into the far corner, trying to center, couldn't get it by Martin, and it's finally centered, stolen by Stapleton. Stapleton leading to Bobby Hull, or rather Chico Mackey leading to Bobby Hull, just a little bit overled, and the play is broken. Back to the Hawk blue line, and Pulford leading into the far corner, taken away by Bill White. Bill White behind the net, coming out on the left side, wanted to hit Bobby Hull. The pass was off the mark, and Harry Howell shot broken up by Bill White. As Chico Mackey picks it up to Bobby Hull. 1-on-2. Bobby Hull to the blue line. In the slot position to Martin on the right wing. Martin trying to get it back to Bobby Hull, but it was intercepted by Marat. And in turn, intercepted by Stapleton on the right side. Here's Martin with a shot, a save, a rebound, and another save. And Martin was really taken out from in front of the crease. Tremendous goaltending by Gary Edwards as he beat Martin twice from point-blank range. Dumped into the Hawk zone, and the whistle blows for an offside play. And I'll tell you, Harvey, that old Chicago Blackhawk, Gilles Marat, is really throwing his weight around tonight.
He's belted Stan Mikita a couple times in the first period, and here in this period, he just belted Pitt Martin, and he hasn't been in the penalty box yet, but Pitt certainly had a great opportunity in front of the net. Edwards made 2 fine saves, and Pitt, who's getting his share of goals lately, he got his number 8 tonight, a fine play, when he faked the pass to Bobby Hull and beat Vachon in the first period.
Face-off outside the Hawk blue line on the near side of the rink. Stan Mikita for Chicago and Backstrom for Los Angeles. The draw into the Hawk zone, into the slot. Backstrom looking for a backhander, gets it underway, and Smith kicks it away with a big stick. Into the near corner goes the rebound. Mikita pokes it by. Stapleton behind and to the left of his own net. Throws it around the far corner to the far board, and Coral to Bill White. And Bill White is forced into the backboard by Backstrom. Loose puck now to Mikita in the far corner of the Hawk zone. Mikita leading ahead to Coral. Cliff Coral out to center ice. Dumping it into the Los Angeles zone off the near corner, and a shot. Trying to tip in was Dennis Hull, and the save was made by Edwards. Rebound in the near corner. It goes to the far board, and Coral wants to send it to Mikita. Mikita had it just tipped away from him. Now Stapleton to Dennis Hull, winding a slap shot, and a beautiful save by Edwards as Stan Mikita was trying to deflect it on the fly, but Edwards stayed with it and made the catch. Perhaps one of the prettiest saves of the night, Harvey.
Fine, quick hand with the glove by Edwards in that time as Mikita was poised to deflect that puck. A hard shot by Dennis Hull, but he made the big save.
Face off to the right of Edwards. The Blackhawks leading by a score of 4-0, just past the halfway mark of the second period. Joy Allen, Mikita on the face-off, the draw back to the blue line, gets away from everybody and skids back into the Hawk zone. Stapleton skates it down, being forechecked by Backstrom. Carries it behind the net, comes out on the right side, leads it off the far board. It gets away from everybody out to center ice, but intercepted by Coral. And Coral, wanting to lead to Mikita, couldn't get the pass to him in time, and Stan was over the line, and it's an offside play.
Blackhawks have a very tough week coming up after this game. Wednesday night we take on the Hot Rangers here at the stadium, and Thursday night we're in Buffalo, Saturday Toronto, and back here next Sunday against Minnesota. 4 games in 5 nights.
From the face-off in center ice into the Los Angeles zone, digging for it, Potvin and Dennis Hull. The puck back to the near point, and Stapleton. Stapleton throws it back into the near corner. Stolen away by Potvin in the near corner. Out to Flett off the near board. And Stapleton again is checking Backstrom. Almost lost control of it to Stapleton, but now he maintains, comes out to his blue line. To the center line, Backstrom to the Hawk blue line, dropping it back to the far point, and led to the near point, and off the near board to Bill Flett. Picked up instead by Hillman, and Hillman centers it, deflected right in front, and cleared away by Smith. A bouncing puck, and Coral has trouble leading it out. Underleads Mikita when he got control. Right back into the Hawk zone, and Bill White off the stick of Coral. Bill White controls. Leads on the right wing to Coral. The pass is high, but he takes it off the far board to the center line to Bill White at the blue line of Los Angeles, and Bill White takes a check as the loose puck is flipped into the corner by Coral. It skids to the backboard behind the net of Gary Edwards, and poked away from Cliff Coral and Mikita, and out to center ice, the interception to Bill White. He throws it off the far board and taken again by the Kings, and now stolen again by Brian Campbell. Brian Campbell over the blue line on the right wing. He's got Dennis Hull coming into the left wing, and the puck was taken away from him by Hillman. Good defensive move by Larry Hillman for Los Angeles. Back to the Hawk zone. Darryl Maggs intercepts the puck and throws it back out to center ice. Blackhawks had a 3-on-1 opportunity, that last offensive move, but the play was broken by one man, Hillman. Behind the Hawk net, Stapleton off the near board, intended for Coral, stolen away by Byers. Byers trying to lead it ahead. He does, but Stapleton is in there to deflect it into the near corner, and Stapleton looks like he wants to hold it on the near corner if he can. 1, 2, 3, 5 players pile up on the puck in the near corner of the Hawk zone, and we'll have a face-off.
Blackhawks have forcing the shuffle 2 lines because of the injuries to Danny O'Shea and Jim Pappin. And Pitt Martin has worked very well with Bobby Hull and Chico Mackey. And this third line with Korab, Campbell, and Maggs has come out very well, too.
From the face-off, Hawks to center ice, led by Maggs. Over the blue line to Campbell. Campbell's shot broken up by Hillman. He throws it to the far corner in the far point. Magnuson winding a shot is wide to the right side. It ends up behind the net. Marat pokes it ahead. Then off the near board, taken by Byers. And Byers' pass is intercepted by Maggs at center ice to Jarrett. Jarrett's pass is intercepted and carried to the Hawk blue line by Berry to Whiting. And Whiting with a shot, and Gary Smith makes another fine save. Off the near board of the Hawk zone from Campbell to Korab. Korab takes a shot from Hillman as the puck is dumped back into the Los Angeles zone. Led out to center ice, the Los Angeles Kings back to the Hawk blue line and led into the slot, but broken up by Maggs. And off the near board, Hillman takes a shot from Campbell, and the puck brought out to center ice by Korab. To the far board, under lead is Maggs, and the play is broken. Maggs controlling at center ice. Maggs forced toward the near board, wheels around, moves back to the center line, and Maggs now dumps it into the Los Angeles zone, easily intercepted by Berry and back to the center ice position. Berry leading on the left wing to Whiting. Whiting trying to beat Magnuson. A shot and a save by Smith. The rebound of the near board of the Hawk zone. Cleared back to the near point, around the near corner. Smith out of the net, throws it back along the near board of the Hawk zone, and pulled out of there by Korab. To Campbell. Campbell to the center line. Campbell to the blue line. He has just delayed enough so that offside on the right wing was Darryl Maggs. We'll be back with more in a moment. What a game. What excitement out there on the ice. Enjoy it all with a frosty bottle or can of Meisterbrau Premium Draft Beer, Chicago's big one. Meisterbrau reaches right down to the bottom of your thirst with more deep down good taste in every glass. And what flavor? Meisterbrau gives you more of what you drink beer for. Meisterbrau Incorporated, Chicago, Toledo, San Francisco. From the face-off at center ice, the Hawks have the puck. Martin dumps it into the Los Angeles zone, stolen behind the net by Lemieux. Bobby Hull breaks up the play. Off the far board, Bill White also in on it along with Lonsberry. Bill White trying to poke it back to Chico Mackey, finally does, and Mackey centers it, but it's intercepted and taken behind the net by Potvin. And Potvin gives to Pulford. Pulford coming out. The Hawks doing some heavy forechecking. 3 of the Hawks are in the Los Angeles zone. Loose puck skids into the Hawk zone, and Bill White from the far side of the near side, and Stapleton to center ice to Chico Mackey. Chico Mackey from the center line brings it over the blue line, but racing down on the right wing was Bobby Hull, offside by just a stride or so.
Children admitted at half price to all Blackhawk home games, now on giant screen color theater television. See the Hawks in action at the Bismarck, Beverly, and Ritz theaters. Children admitted at half price. For groups, call Randolph 65400. The next Hawk home game will be Wednesday night against the New York Rangers.
Blackhawks leading here by a score of 4-0. We're just past the 14-minute mark of the second period. All the goals scored in the first period: Bobby Hull, Darryl Maggs, Stan Mikita, and Pitt Martin. The penalty box is empty. Only one penalty in this period, and that was to Chicago's Bill White for holding. From the face-off out to center ice, Bill White breaks up the play, and he is put down by Potvin. Loose puck picked up by Bobby Hull on the left wing. Shallow left wing, drops it back to Martin. Martin moving in closer. It's a shot away, and it's wide to the right side. And Bill White picks up the rebound off the far board, and his shot and a save by Gary Edwards. Stapleton's shot, broken up by Lemieux. Loose puck, still in the Los Angeles zone. Brought out, brought in again, and the whistle blows for an offside play. Face-off will take place outside the Los Angeles blue line on the near side of the ring. Pitt Martin for Chicago. Pitt winged on the left by Bobby Hull, on the right by Chico Mackey. The draw to Los Angeles. Pulford carries to the Hawk blue line. Here's a quick shot and a save by Gary Smith, but the whistle blew just as Pulford pulled the trigger for an offside play at the Hawk blue line.
Kings coming into the game tonight had the worst offense and worst defensive record in the NHL. Of course, as we mentioned, they're in last place in the Western Division. But on a given night, they can be tough. They went into Philadelphia on the road and blanked them.
They've been able to win only 5 games. From the face-off, Martin over the blue line on the right wing. A shot and a save by Edwards, and no rebound for the Blackhawks. Picked up by Goring. Still in the Los Angeles zone to the far side. Back to the near side, and Potvin leads it out to center ice. It bounces off the near boards and down into the Hawk zone. Bill White behind the net touches the puck there. It's an icing call against Los Angeles. We'll take this break in the action to bring you another Shell hockey fact. This one about the offside rule. A player is offside when both skates are over the center line or blue line involved in the play. A player is onside when either of his skates are on his own side of the line at the instant the puck completely crosses the outer edge of that line. The position of the player's skates and not his stick determines whether he is on or offside. That's a Shell Hockey Fact, brought to you by all the Shell dealers in the Chicago area. From the face-off in the Los Angeles zone out to center ice, Magnuson dumps it right back into the King zone. Into the near corner, Nikita centering, but it's intercepted right in front of the net by Marat and deflected out to center ice and Jarrett. Back into the Hawk zone and Magnuson on the far side, leading his pass, intercepted by Howell. That center ice play, picked up now by Dennis Hull. Dennis Hull to the blue line on the right wing, moving into the slot, drops it back. Nikita couldn't handle the pass. It goes to the far board of the Los Angeles zone, and it's held right there on the far board of the King zone. Will have a face-off.
Hawks have been doing a good job of forechecking and back-checking on the Kings as their offense has not been able to rolling. As you mentioned, the Kings have been on the road. This is their fourth straight game, and they're winless.
Face off to the left of Gary Edwards in the Los Angeles zone. The draw back to the blue line and Magnuson. Magnuson into the slot, intended for Coral, deflected away from him. Back to the blue line and Jarrett. And Jarrett trying to throw it in the near corner. Finally gets it there to Dennis Hull, and Dennis Hull centers, but nobody there. Nikita and Howell had a little bit of activity off the corner of the crease into the Hawk zone. Bill Flett with a shot, and a save by Gary Smith. The rebound into the far corner of the Hawk zone. Back to the blue line. Marat with a shot, knocked down by Magnuson. Magnuson throws it off the near board to Dennis Hull, and Dennis Hull to Nikita at the center line. 2-on-2. Nikita moving into the slot position, leading and off the skate of Coral. It deflects into the near corner. Coral tries to hit Dennis Hull, but that's intercepted by Backstrom. Still off the near board of the Los Angeles zone, and Harry Howell and Doug Jarrett digging for it now at center ice on the near board right in front of the Blackhawks bench. And poked by Nikita into the Los Angeles zone. Off the near board, leading to Dennis Hull, and Dennis Hull gets the shot away, and a save by Gary Edwards. Trying for the rebound was Coral. Picked up by Marat, however, and back out to center ice and Joyal for Los Angeles. Leading on the left wing, intended for Backstrom, but taken by Nikita on the far board, and it was a double-line pass for an offside play. Dennis Hull was really flying. He could have had himself a breakaway if it had not been an offside play. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Got a thirst for a draft beer that's a lot smoother and more mellow? Drink up Meisterbrau Premium Draft Beer. This one comes tumbling out of the bottle or can as frosty, crisp, and clear as it does straight from the tap. It's Chicago's big one. Meisterbrau is served and enjoyed in more Chicago homes than any other beer brewed anywhere. Meisterbrau Incorporated, Chicago, Toledo, San Francisco. Andre Lacroix on the ice for the first time tonight, centering this line, winged on the left by Brian Campbell, on the right by Darryl Maggs. And the puck out to center ice along the near board, taken by Potvin for Los Angeles. His play broken up by Lacroix, but the puck goes immediately to Byers, and Byers with a long shot and a save by Gary Smith. The rebound off the far board, kept in by Whiting, dumps it to the backboard of the Hawk zone, and Stapleton behind the net. Stapleton throws to the far corner, and Bill White, now Darryl Maggs, trying to lead it out, intended for Lacroix, pops up into the air and finally comes down at center ice. And possession to the Kings, to the Hawk blue line. Led on the right wing, finally picked up by Barry. And Barry flips it into the Hawk zone. From the near corner, it skids around to the far corner, and Bill White for Chicago. To Lacroix. Lacroix down the far board, out to center ice. Down on the right wing, over the blue line, giving to Maggs in the slot. Maggs was spun around, and the loose puck picked up by Barry. And back he comes for the Kings to center ice, over the blue line on the right wing, leading into the slot. Deflected away, and back to the near point, and Whiting throws to the far point. And at the Hawk blue line, Lacroix breaks it up the play, and back out to center ice, swept off of his stick by Whiting. Whiting at the center line. Leading on the right wing to Byers. Byers takes a solid check from Campbell. Loose puck in the near corner of the Hawk zone, and Bill White pokes it away from Byers to Campbell. Campbell to Lacroix. Lacroix to Maggs at the blue line. Maggs on the right wing, carrying it in a little deeper. Swept away from him and carried into the far corner by Bill Mickelson. And now centered out in front to Lacroix. Lacroix coming out in front. A backhander is wide to the left side. And it's off the near board and picked up by the Kings. Good opportunity for Andre Lacroix, but he got too much of the puck on the backhander. Intercepted at the blue line by Darryl Maggs, carrying it into the slot. Darryl Maggs leading on the left side to Campbell. Campbell with a shot. It was deflected by Potvin before it got to Gary Edwards. Loose puck behind the net, picked up by Byers. Byers skates it right straight away out to his blue line, being checked from both sides, carries to the center line, swept away nicely by Chico Mackey, and Chico Mackey leads to Campbell. Campbell back to the blue line of Los Angeles, leads on the right wing to Lacroix. Lacroix tries to get the shot away and was partially deflected, and coming out of the net and falling on the puck was Gary Edwards.
McQuah with his first shift on the ice did a fine job, and this line with Campbell and Maggs worked the puck well for the minute and a half or so they were out there, and now the Bobby Hull line out there with Chico and Pitt Martin centering. No scoring in this period. We've had some good opportunities on Gary Edwards, but he's made the key stops. Most of the shots on Gary Smith in this period by the Kings have been from far out, from about 35, 45 feet away from the net.
A minute and 10 seconds left to play in the second period. 4-0 Chicago. Face-off in the Los Angeles zone, and the draw picked up by Hillman. He throws it to the far side. Marat leading out to center ice, deflected into the Hawk zone around the near corner. Gary Smith out of the net. Pokes it ahead along the near board, and Magnuson can't control it. Put out front to Pulford. Pulford with a shot, and it's wide to the left side. Gary Smith may have gotten a piece of it. It was hard to tell from this angle, but it did go by wide on the left side from not more than about 6 feet out. Now Magnuson from center ice dumps it down to the Los Angeles zone behind the net. Gary Edwards stops it for Hillman. 35 seconds left to play in the second period. The Blackhawks 4, Los Angeles nothing. Center ice play for Real Lemieux. Carries to the Hawk blue line. He is forced right back out. It would have been offside anyhow. Now Marat trying to get by Magnuson. He's put down to the ice, and Magnuson shoves the puck into the near corner for Bobby Hull. Bobby Hull can't control the pass. Off the near board of the Hawk zone. Hull digs for it along with Pulford. Pulford trying to lead in the slot. Deflected away by Martin and cleared into the corner by Magnuson and cleared out of the rink by Doug Jarrett, and trying to bang it off the near board and into the Los Angeles zone. Just a few seconds remaining in the second period. Good ice position for the Kings. Face-off will be in the Chicago Blackhawks zone to the left of Gary Smith. Bobby Hull, Pitt Martin, Chico Mackey, Doug Jarrett, and Keith Magnuson on the ice for Chicago. And Martin will face off with Butch Goring to the left of Gary Smith. There's the face-off. The draw back to the blue line. Marat's shot is broken up by Bobby Hull, and Bobby Hull digs it up in the air in the Hawk zone. Carries it into the far corner. He throws it behind the net to Magnuson, and there is the end of the second period. With the score, the Chicago Blackhawks 4, the Los Angeles Kings nothing. We'll be back with our between-period show right after this. It's time for another Shell Hockey Fact. We already told you that Canada has won the most Olympic titles. But do you know who had the longest Olympic career? What player? What country did he represent? The answer, Richard Toriani of Switzerland. He first played in the Olympics in 1928, and he made every Olympics after that, up to and including 1948. 20 years. He must have been some athlete. There are a lot of little-known but very interesting facts like this in hockey. Now, here's something a lot of people don't know about Shell. In addition to fine gasolines, many Shell stations also carry a full line of tires. Not just 1 or 2 tires in the back room in case somebody has a flat tire on the way to work. Your Shell dealer has everything from economy tires up to the HP 40 belted tires. And there's a pro at the station to help you make the right choice for your car. When you consider the facts, we think you'll choose Shell. So a 4-0 hockey game in favor of the Chicago Blackhawks. All of the scoring coming in the first period, and here's the recap on the scoring. In the first period at 5:38, Bobby Hull, his 13th of the year, assisted by Martin and Mackey at 12:06. Darryl Maggs, his second of the year, assisted by Brian Campbell. At 15:54, it became 3-0 in favor of Chicago on an unassisted goal by Stan Mikita, his 10th goal of the year. And the final scoring at 17:16, Pitt Martin's 8th of the year, assisted by Chico Mackey. No scoring in the second period, only one penalty, a minor, against Bill White of Chicago for holding at 6:32. Shots on goal in the first period favoring Chicago. They had 13 to Los Angeles' 9. And in the second period, the Hawks 8 and the Kings 8. So the Blackhawks have a 2-period total of 21 shots on goal, and Los Angeles has a 2-period total of 17. So we'll be back to replay some of the highlights for you right after this. Before we get ready for action on the ice, are you ready for the facts of light? That's Light, L-I-T-E, beer. Light is a complete premium beer. The only thing missing is 1/3 of the calories. That's right. Light has 1/3 fewer calories than other Meisterbrau premium beers. Light contains only 96 calories in a 12-ounce bottle or can. The special process that brews out the calories also gives Light the lightest taste yet in a premium beer. You can enjoy glass after glass without that filled-up feeling. Light beer represents a scientific breakthrough, a spectacular achievement in brewing. Light beer is brewed with the finest, most costly grades of ingredients. It's all there except the calories. That's the facts of Light. Serve and enjoy the refreshing light taste of light beer, ice cold. Meisterbrau Incorporated, Chicago, Toledo, San Francisco. We pause 5 seconds for station identification.
This is WMAQ, Chicago.
So now let's replay some of the highlights for you, and in order to do that, we go back into the first period and the first goal of the evening for Chicago at 5:38. Joyelle can't clear it out of the corner. Stolen away by Bobby Hull, led into the slot, but just out of the reach of Chico Mackey. Stolen by Martin. Martin to Bobby Hull on the right side. A shot and a goal! By Chico Mackey, alert work by Pitt Martin in making the pass to Bobby Hull just off the corner of the crease to the left of Bashaw. Bobby had complete control of the puck. He faked Bashaw right out of position, moving on to the left side, and he flipped it into the net for number 13 for number 9. And the Blackhawks have the lead 1-0. And Martin and Mackey received assists on the goal. And then at 12:06, the Blackhawks led by a score of 2-0. Stolen by Daryl Mize, coming in close on the right wing, a shot and a goal! Daryl Mize stole the puck very quickly, just inside the Los Angeles blue line. He moved in on the goaltender all by himself from about 20 feet out. He let go, lifted the puck high over the shoulder of Bashaw for his second goal of the year, and the Blackhawks have the lead 2-0. And we'll continue with the replay of the highlights for you in just a moment. These broadcasts are brought to you by the Shell Oil Company and all the fine Shell dealers in the great Chicago area. Now it's time for Shell Hockey Facts. In non-Olympic years, the World Amateur Championship is determined by a tournament among teams from around the world. Canada is the all-time champion, having won the world title 19 times. But in recent years, the competition has been dominated by the Russians. For example, they took a string of 6 straight championships into the 1969 tournament. But in comparing Russian hockey players with the Canadians, don't forget one important point. When a young Canadian player looks good, he moves into the pros. So the best players have only a couple of years of amateur hockey at best. That's not the case with the Russians. Their best players continue to play for their so-called amateur team. I wonder what would happen if the Russians took on the National Hockey League All-Stars. It would be interesting, wouldn't it? Continuing with the replay now of our highlights of the hockey game, the Blackhawks have the lead by a score of 4-0 as our second intermission continues at Chicago Stadium. Going back again to the first period at 15:54, Stan Mikita got on the scoring board. Mikita behind the net, trying to center, a deflected shot, and a goal! Any way we can get them. From the backboard, behind and to the right of Rogatien Vachon. Literally centered the puck into the slot, into a sea of skates. It deflected into the crease, and it appeared to us as if it finally went in off the goaltender himself. The Blackhawks have the lead by a score of 3-0. But less than 2 minutes later, the score was posted 4-0 when Pitt Martin made a fine move in moving down the ice with Bobby Hull 2-on-1. Play by Martin. The Hawks 2-on-1. Martin on the right wing over the blue line. A shot to goal! Really ripping shreds in the Los Angeles defense, with Pitt Martin and Bobby Hull moving down the ice 2-on-1. Bobby was on the left wing. Martin kept the puck on the right wing, faked his pass to Bobby, went ahead with his shot, and he beat Vachon, and the Hawks lead by a 4-0 score. So as we've said, that's all the scoring in the hockey game, the second period being scoreless, but Pitt Martin had an opportunity and a couple of good opportunities in the second period to make it 2 goals for the evening. Turn intercepted by Stapleton on the right side. Here's Martin with a shot, a save, a rebound, and another save. And Martin was really taken out from in front of the crease. Tremendous goaltending by Gary Edwards as he beat Martin twice from point-blank range. So it's 4-0 as our second edition continues at Chicago Stadium. You know, it won't be long before Old Man Winter begins to lay his frosted mantle on Chicago, and RV Northside Clothing is ready to help you meet those icy days with special prices this week on men's outerwear. Leather is the most important news in men's fashion this winter, and RV has the latest, featuring the long jacket of imported shell leather. This extra long jacket has a fitted waist, wide lapels, and flat pockets, and is regularly priced at $120. Special this week, just $88. For the more conservative man, RB offers a beautifully tailored imported cashmere coat in 5 colors: camel, navy, gray, brown, and black. A $110 value, RB holiday priced at only $68. If the new economic program has put a freeze on your wallet, let RB solve your shopping problem with our $500 credit plan. No down payment, no finance charge, and 26 weeks to pay. RB Northside Clothes, 2 convenient locations to serve you: corner Milwaukee and Ashland, and 4131 North Harlem. Next time you come into RB's, mention the Blackhawks and save even more. RB's, where Chicagoland pays only for clothing, not for credit. Well, Harvey, a 4-0 lead in any kind of sport is a pretty solid one indeed, but in the game of hockey, you never can be sure.
Well, goals come fast and furious, and as we found out when we played Pittsburgh here a couple weeks ago, had a 7-0 lead, and then within a short span, Pittsburgh came back with 3 goals and made a game out of it. So you can't let down. Right now, the team wants to win, and they want to protect the shutout for Gary Smith. Gary's had 1 on the season. Tony Esposito's had 3. And with Buffalo knocking off Minnesota 3-1 in Buffalo tonight, and knocking Minnesota's win streak down quite a bit, we can pick up some ground on the North Stars. We came into the game trailing them by 5 points. A victory would put us 3 points out, and we have a very tough schedule coming up. And of course, we meet the North Stars a week from tonight here at the stadium, their first appearance of the season.
Harvey, we have commented over the years the value of the home rink, the home stadium, and the home crowd. But can it be all that important to the Chicago Blackhawks for the absolutely tremendous hockey they've played at home as opposed to the difficulties they've had on the road?
Well, first of all, Lloyd, I think some of the road game losses we've had are real heartbreakers. We played outstanding hockey in Montreal. We lost 2-1. We played a real good game in New York, lost 3-1. Played a fine game in Boston and lost by a goal. 3 real fine efforts. We have a tendency to let down on the road against teams like Vancouver, which we've lost twice in Vancouver. We're here in the stadium. Vancouver didn't even come close to us. In California, Friday night, the team just couldn't get going. With two men out on injuries, it's kind of rough. So, I don't know. Certain players, you know, the coach tries to tell you that certain times certain players won't put out on the road as they do at home. They put a little extra effort in at home before the home crowd and the cheers. And on the road, it's a tendency to loaf. Although we've played well, we haven't really played. The only bad game we had was the third period of our first trip into Vancouver. But we've been more consistent at home. The boys have more confidence here, and the goaltenders have more confidence. And offensively, we're a little more aggressive at home than we are on the road.
And, of course, the injuries to Jim Pappin and also Danny O'Shea, a couple of regular members on their lines, Harvey, has got to take its effect, too. That can throw things off a little bit.
Well, it's difficult when you have to use Jerry Korab, who's a converted defenseman, or basically a defenseman, and Daryl Maggs, a rookie, who's also played defense most of his career up until this year. We put him on wing. And Brian Campbell has come on strong now after shaking off the effects of the virus, getting his full weight back. Talking to Jerry Desjardins in the press box, and Jerry's hopeful he'll start skating next week. His arm is coming along very good, which will give the Hawks 3 healthy goaltenders. And, of course, goaltending has been our key thus far this season.
And that race in the East, Harvey, is an interesting one to say the least. Coming into tonight, New York with 36 points, Montreal with 36 points, Boston with 34, and then dropping down a bit, Toronto with 25. That could be a race to the wire, couldn't it?
Well, it certainly is tight. New York winning tonight and Boston winning. So Boston is tied with Montreal for second place, 2 points behind the Rangers, who will be in here Wednesday night.
All right, we've been chatting about hockey and tonight's game with the Los Angeles Kings with Harvey Wittenberg. We're leading 4-0 as the second intermission at Chicago Stadium is rapidly coming to a close. Here's a suggestion to make your holiday entertaining a little more exciting. It's an invitation to discover the uncommon way of saying you care by serving the uncomplicated wine that goes with all foods and all guests. Isabel Portuguese Rosé, the vintage rosé from the country that knows good wine. Isabel Portuguese Rosé, the only Lisbon Gold Medal Rosé Award winner for quality, flavor, and excellence in world competition. For holiday parties, with dinner for 2, or just dining alone, serve Isabel Portuguese Rosé. Is there a better way to say much love? I know, I've tried it, and it does have a taste that is superb. And the cherry pink color adds a festive touch. Imported Isabel Portuguese Rosé, a delicious holiday surprise worth much more than it will cost. Ask for it at finer restaurants and your favorite package store. A product of C. Da Silva Limited of Portugal, discovered by Judge and Dolph Limited, Chicago. The officials back on the ice, the referee Art Skov, and the linesmen Claude Bouchard and Terry Pierce. The Los Angeles Kings coming back onto the ice through the gate to our right, and the Chicago Blackhawks also reappearing through the gate to our left. The Blackhawks leading by a score of 4-0, all the scoring being done in the first period on goals by Bobby Hull, Daryl Maggs, Stan Mikita, and Pitt Martin. Gary Edwards took over for Rogatien Vachon for Los Angeles at the end of the first period, or perhaps we should say at the beginning of the second period, and Edwards will continue in the nets for Los Angeles. We've changed ends for the start of the third period. Edwards in the nets to our right, and Gary Smith, who has gone all the way for Chicago, will be in the nets to our left. And, of course, the directions then would have the Chicago Blackhawks moving from our left to our right, and the Los Angeles Kings in the opposite direction.
One thing I might mention, Lloyd, coming here to the stadium on Saturday, December 18th, Notre Dame, and playing Boston College in a college hockey game, and good seats are available at the stadium, and that should be a real fine game. Notre Dame, real power in the Midwest here now in college hockey, and Boston, a perennial power out east. One of the things a lot of fans ask, our vantage point has switched this year at the Chicago Stadium. We're on the north side of the stadium at the outer edge of the second balcony, right at center ice, gives us a good viewpoint right above the players.
And ready for the opening face-off of the third period of play. Art Skov with the puck moving over to center ice. And Backstrom will face off with Mikita. And the opening draw of the third period is won by Los Angeles and dumped immediately into the Blackhawk zone, and just as quickly there's an offside play. Mikita winged on the right by Cliff Corral, on the left by Dennis Hull. The two backmen for Chicago are Doug Jarrett and Keith Magnuson. Face off at center ice, and it goes back into the Los Angeles zone, but pushed on the deflection back into the Hawk zone. Magnuson goes to the backboard. Throws it into the near corner. It gets away from Doug Jarrett. Eddie Joyal throws it into the near corner and centered right on in front, but swept away by Dennis Hull. Dennis Hull down the near board now, dropping it off to Coral. Coral at center ice on the near board, right in front of the Hawk bench, but dumped into the Hawk zone. And the interception by Joy Allen. Just as quickly, Coral intercepts for Chicago. Goes behind the net. Gives to Jarrett on the far side to Makita. Makita to the center line. Makita to the blue line. Makita moving into the slot position, spreading him out on the right side. Slap shot is wide to the left side. Just off the mark by a couple of inches was Makita's shot. Back into the slot, and Coral with a quick shot and a fine save by Gary Edwards. Rebound to the far board, and possession to the Kings. Out to center ice, pass deflected by Makita into the Hawk zone, and Magnuson. He scoops it ahead to Coral. Off the near board, now Makita at the center line. Over the blue line on the right wing. Makita leading it back, intended for Dennis Hull. It goes to the far board. Dennis Hull with a slap shot is wide to the right side and off the near corner, back to the near point, and Magnuson couldn't hold the puck, but he breaks up the pass by Joy Allen, picks it up and gives to Dennis Hull. On the left wing, a shot is wide to the right side. That off the stick of Dennis Hull. And Magnuson puts it back deep into the far corner, and again Dennis Hull leads to Makita just off the backboard. His pass out trying to center was deflected away by Backstrom, but stolen again by Chico Mackey, and inside the blue line of Chicago, but intercepted and carried down into the Hawk zone by Flett. Flett on the right wing gets a shot underway, partially deflected by Chico Mackey, turned away by Gary Smith. Magnuson can't clear it around behind the net. It's poked off behind, and still digging for it just off the backboard as the Hawks trying desperately to get out of their own zone. Finally picked up now by Dennis Hull and Makita. Makita to the center line. Hawks 3-on-3 over the blue line, and Makita's pass too high for Dennis Hull, and Dennis Hull finally from the far corner tried to center, but that was deflected away. And now cleared out of the Los Angeles zone to the Hawk zone to the stick of Bill White. 2 minutes into the third period, 4-0 in favor of the Blackhawks. The lead by Stapleton, broken up by Lemieux. Lemieux over the blue line of the Hawks on the right wing to Pulford. Pulford's backhander is deflected to the backboard, and Bill White clears it off to the far board. Stolen away by Potvin for Los Angeles. Dropping it back to the far point. Here's Pulford with a shot and a save by Gary Smith. That shot was partially deflected, and Smith had to stay with it, and he did so nicely. Stapleton leading to Bobby Hull on the left wing over the blue line. A flat shot and a save, and no rebound for Chicago. Now Chico Mackey with a rebound. Bobby Hull with a shot and a goal. Kept buzzing around the net in the Los Angeles zone, and finally the puck moved into perfect position for Bobby Hull, off to the left of Edwards, about 15 feet away. Perfect position for his wrist shot, and he put it home, and the Hawks lead 5-0. From the face-off back into the Hawks zone, and Whitey Stapleton ahead to Bobby Hull. He couldn't hold it. Picked up by Lemieux at center ice. Gets by Stapleton. Bobby Hull digging forward into the far corner. Lemieux still on it. Gets a shot away, but it's wide, and it goes behind the net. Into the near corner. Chico Mackey off the near board. Scoops it ahead to Pitt Martin. Martin to the center line. Followed by Bobby Hull. Spreading him out on the right side. Trying to lead to Hull, but it goes behind the net and poked away into the near corner. Mickelson digging for it. So is Pulford along with Martin. Martin pokes it loose off to the side of the cage. Cleared away by Edwards, but still right around that cage. And picked out now by Potvin, and he gives to Goring. Goring skates it from his blue line to the center line of the Hawk blue line on the left wing. Giving it to Pulford, couldn't get a shot away. The puck into the near corner of the Hawk zone, and Bill White digging for it. Being checked by Goring, and now Real Lemieux behind the Hawk net. Bill White throws it around the near corner of the Hawk zone to the near board, and Mickelson picks it up, gets a shot away, deflected off the side of the net. And the puck now skids to the far corner of the Hawk zone, and Bobby Hull leading out to Martin. The pass was high, deflected out to center ice, and possession of the Kings again. A long shot from center ice, and an easy save by Gary Smith. Bobby Hull on the Hawk zone, leading out to center ice to Pitt Martin. Martin gets away from one, moves to the blue line, into the slot. We have a penalty coming up as the puck is back at center ice. A delayed call against Los Angeles. Out of the nets comes Gary Smith, but possession now goes to the Kings, and the whistle blows for the upcoming penalty. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Who's always on the first team? Leon's Sausage. You just can't beat the good old-fashioned flavor of Leon's lineup. Wieners, bratwurst, and Polish sausage. You'll always score extra points with Leon's, because Leon's sausage craftsmen take pride in preparing high-quality sausage the genuine old-world way. When your goal is good eating, call on the sausage made the old-fashioned, natural way. Leon's Wieners, Leon's Bratwurst, and Leon's Polish sausages. Well, Barry is just heading now for the penalty box There was some delay there, and we have not received the official announcement on it, but here it comes in now.
Too many men on the ice.
Too many men on the ice, so Barry will serve the penalty for Los Angeles.
Penalty to be served by number 18, Bob Berry, at 3:56.
3:56, the time of the penalty. So it's power play hockey for Chicago, and from the face-off into the Los Angeles zone, and then cleared all the way back into the Hawk zone. Bobby Hull moving out of his own zone. The crowd, of course, hoping for a hat trick from Hull tonight. At the blue line, trying to break through into the slot position. The puck is loose into the near corner, and Bobby Hull was really put down in the near corner by Marat. And the puck now is slid from the Los Angeles zone again, way deep into the Hawk zone. Now Brian Campbell coming back for Chicago to his blue line, to the center line. Brian Campbell loses control of the puck at the blue line of Los Angeles, but it's right in front and cleared out by Gilles Marat. Hawk zone off the backboard, Stapleton. Carries it out, leads ahead to Brian Campbell. Or rather, Jerry Korab, and Korab is forced to wheel around at his blue line. Straight away to the center line. Korab to the blue line of Los Angeles, dropping it off to the left wing. Campbell, and now back to Stapleton at center ice, off the skate of Maggs, and brought in, brought back out, brought in again. It's offside at the blue line of Los Angeles. For your Blackhawk yearbook, just send $1 to Yearbook, Blackhawk Properties, 1840 West Madison, Chicago, Illinois, 60612. The Blackhawks lead it by a score of 5-0, just a couple of seconds past the 5-minute mark. Power play hockey for Chicago. Barry serving a penalty for Los Angeles when they ended up with too many men on the ice. From the face-off at center ice, dumped onto the stick of Gary Smith, and now Stapleton to Nikita Overled at center ice, and dumped right back into the Hawk zone. Stopped by Smith for Stapleton. Whitey Stapleton starting out the power play. Carries to his blue line, wanting to lead to Bobby Hull, but Overled. It goes into the far corner and skids into the near corner, and that pass came from behind the center line. It turns out to be an icing call against the Hawks.
Children admitted at half price to all Blackhawk home games, now on giant screen color theater television. See the Hawks in action at the Bismarck Theater in the Loop, the Beverly at 95th and Ashland, and the Ritz in Berwyn. Children admitted at half price. For group reservations, call Randolph 65400.
From the face-off in the Hawk zone, back into the Los Angeles zone from the near side to the far side. Hillman standing, waiting. Now he lofts it out to center ice, picked up by Backstrom. Backstrom over the Hawk blue line, a slap shot and a save by Smith. And he clears it into the far corner. Less than 15 seconds to go on the penalty. Now Dennis Hull picks up the loose puck in the Hawk zone to his blue line. Scoops it ahead to Bobby Hull at the blue line of the left wing. Back to Dennis Hull. A wrist shot and a save, and no rebound for Chicago. Marat clears it away, and Barry is out of the penalty box. The teams are back at equal strength. Center ice play for Dennis Hull. Dennis Hull to the blue line, leading on the right wing for Cliff Corral, carrying it into the corner, going behind the net. Corral wants to center, but he's checked by Mickelson. Off the backboard, Dennis Hull trying to center it. It's along the side of the cage, poked at, and away by Edwards. Out to Bill Flett. He throws it out to center ice, broken up by Magnuson, but picked up by Joyelle, coming out all alone in front. A shot, a save, a rebound, another save! Unbelievable goaltending on the part of Gary Smith. He beat Joyelle on the point-blank shot, a clear breakaway, and then he beat the follow-up on the rebound from not more than 4 feet away. Harvey, that's the move of the night, I'll tell you.
It certainly was great as Gary made the stop on Joyelle. Cowboy Flett came roaring in for the rebound, and Gary was on the seat of his pants, and he managed to block that puck and prevent it from going over that goal line. Great goaltending.
And that's one of the reasons that the score is Chicago 5 and Los Angeles nothing. Quickly from the face-off, another shot by Flett and another save by Gary Smith. Cleared into the far corner of the Hawk zone. Flett centers, but Martin intercepts and led back out to center ice, and Mickelson for the Kings on the near side, right in front of the Los Angeles bench. Dumps it to the Hawk blue line. Magnuson intercepts and throws it back into the Los Angeles zone, and Mickelson skates it down on the near corner. And he drops it to Goring. Goring moving right straight ahead. Gets by Chico Mackey. Gets by Martin at center ice to the Hawk blue line on the left wing to Joyelle. A quick shot and a save by Gary Smith again. And he holds on because coming out on the right wing was Flett and on the left wing was Goring.
Gary's working hard for that second shutout of the season. He had 2 shutouts all last season with the Oakland Seals, and I think that with kind of his goaltending on those 2 saves in succession, that the team is going to work a little harder for him in front of him and try and keep the Kings from getting on the scoreboard.
Goring and Martin facing off to the right of Gary Smith. The draw to Magnuson in the near corner of the Hawk zone. Goes behind the net, comes out on the far side to Jarrett. Jarrett trying to lead it ahead to Lacroix. Finally gets it to him and back to Magnuson. Now to Martin at the center line of the blue line, and the whistle blows at the blue line. Offside on the left wing was Andre Lacroix. Martin, Lacroix, and Chico Mackey, the front line for Chicago. Doug Jarrett and Keith Magnuson, the back line, and now Billy Ray sends on Bill White and Pat Stapleton to relieve Magnuson and Jarrett for a moment or so.
Bobby Hull has 27 career hat tricks, which of course is high in the NHL, and he'd like to make it 28 tonight.
Well, we've seen a lot of those hat tricks by Bobby, and I'll tell you, the thrill of watching it is never diminished, no matter how many he has. From the face-off from the Los Angeles zone to center ice, and Stapleton to Martin to Lacroix. Lacroix 1-on-2, leading on the left wing, and overled was Martin. Martin pokes it away from Goring to the backboard. Lacroix behind the net, trying to center it out. It's off the side of the cage, and Martin is there, but so is Gary Edwards to put the glove on the puck and hold it, and the play is dead. The Hawks gain good ice position for the upcoming face-off to the right of Edwards. We'll be back with more right after this. What a game. What excitement out there on the ice. Enjoy it all with a frosty bottle or can of Meisterbrau Premium Draft Beer, Chicago's big one. Meisterbrau reaches right down to the bottom of your thirst, with more deep-down good taste in every glass. And what flavor. Meisterbrau gives you more of what you drink beer for. Meisterbrau Incorporated, Chicago, Toledo, San Francisco. From the face-off in the Los Angeles zone, the Kings own the puck at center ice. Barry drops it to Whiting. Whiting, a quick shot on the left wing, and it's wide to the right side, to the far point. And Harry Howell couldn't get a shot away. Into the far corner, and Whiting. He is solidly checked against the board by Martin, and the loose puck picked up by Chico Mackey, and the Hawks come back 3-on-3. Mackey leading to Martin over the blue line on the left wing. Martin wanting to lead into the slot. He does, deflected off the side of the cage by the goaltender, Gary Edwards. And picked up now by Byers. Byers out to his blue line, slips, falls down, gives it to Whiting, and Whiting at the Hawk blue line. Offside on the left wing was Barry. We've got a timeout, so let's fill in with a shell of hockey fact. Just in case you think a National Hockey League rink can vary in size, let it be known the official size of an NHL rink is 200 feet long and 85 feet wide. The corners must be rounded in the arc of a circle with a radius of 28 feet. The ideal height of the boards above the ice is 42 inches, but they can vary from 40 to 48 inches. Got the picture? It's a hockey fact brought to you by Chicagoland's Shell dealers. Center ice play and an interception for Los Angeles. Marat throws it off the near board back into the Hawk zone, and Bill White from the near side to the far side, and Stapleton. Stapleton from just inside his blue line leads to Bill White at the center line, and White throws it down into the Los Angeles zone. Off the far corner, picked up by Byers. He's checked from the rear by Korab. Korab digging for it in the near corner of the Los Angeles zone. 4 players trying to dig it out of there. Now Korab does get it. Trying to center, deflected off the stick of Marat into the corner of the crease, and Gary Edwards is there to fall on the loose puck. We are 9 minutes into the third period, and it's a 5-0 hockey game in favor of the Chicago Blackhawks, and Marat and Korab giving each other the evil eye.
Something might break out there before the end of this game, as Marat, of course, one-time Chicago player, he figures he has a few scores to settle here.
Face off to the left of Edwards. The draw to the near board of the Los Angeles zone and picked up by Barry. Into the near corner, goes behind the net, drops it back. Off the backboard to Gilles Marat. Marat leading it ahead off the near board to Whiting. The play broken by Campbell, stolen by Maggs, and Maggs leads to Campbell. Under his stick, it goes to the far board. Campbell with a turnaround slap shot and a save by Edwards. The puck dumped into the near corner. Now the near point as Bill White gets a shot away, and Edwards reaches out, and he holds on. And a whistle on the ice. This could be a penalty, I guess.
No, a stick above the shoulder, I believe, Lloyd, as I think Brian Campbell had raised his stick as the puck came in and apparently got a piece of it, and of course that brings the face-off out.
And the draw off the near board and dumped by Magnuson into the Los Angeles zone. Around the near corner, stopped behind the net by Edwards, and the Kings come roaring back. Led by Mickelson at his blue line to the center line, to the Hawk blue line, dumping it into the Hawk zone. Around the near corner behind the net, and Mag scoops it ahead, intended for Korab, overled, and intercepted just inside the Hawk blue line. A quick shot by Lonsberry and an easy save by Gary Smith. The puck into the near corner, now to the far corner, and Doug Jarrett. Being checked by Lemieux. The puck still in the far corner of the Hawk zone. Now dumped behind the net and picked up by Magnuson. Magnuson ahead to Darryl Maggs. Maggs to Korab. Korab at the blue line. Faking the shot. Spreading him out on the left side. Trying to dump it into the slot. Couldn't do it. Maggs overskates the puck off the far board, and Lemieux gives it to Mickelson. And Mickelson skates it out to his blue line. Pass out to center ice, and Lemieux to Pulford. Pulford dumps it over the Hawk blue line. On the interception is Korab. Jerry Korab carries it behind the Hawk net. Stops, looks out on the left side, and leads it ahead to Brian Campbell. Campbell out to center ice. Back to Magnuson at the center line. Oversticks the puck, and it's poked away from him. Picked up now by Jarrett, and a long shot from the center line is wide to the right side and into the near corner of the Los Angeles zone. Dug for by Brian Campbell, but Lonsberry has control of the puck and carries it from the near corner behind the net to the far corner and drops it off to Potvin. Potvin behind the net. Skating it out slowly and led to Pulford. Pulford leading out to center ice, gets away from Lemieux, rebounds down into the Hawk zone, and there is Magnuson to pick up the loose puck behind the net. Coming up to the 11-minute mark of the third period, 5-0 Chicago. Dennis Hull at the blue line on the left wing, leading to Campbell off of his stick and off the backboard. Campbell trying to center, deflected by Flett into the far corner. And back to the blue line, and Coral with a quick shot is wide to the right side. And off the backboard, Dennis Hull wants to lead to the slot again. It's deflected away by Magnuson into the near corner to Makita, and Makita centers, deflected away and back near the blue line and picked up by Pulford for Los Angeles. To the center line of the Hawk blue line. Pulford carries it over on the backhand, wants to put it in the slot. He does, and Bill Flett is forced into the near corner. He gets a shot away and deflected away, and a stick above the shoulder again. And we'll have a face-off on the ice. We pause 5 seconds for station identification.
This is WMAQ, Chicago.
The Kings have had two good opportunities this evening. Once near the end of the first period, and they had two-man advantage when the Hawks were penalized and two-men short, and then that breakaway by Joyal and Flett. But as you mentioned, Gary Smith has been tough tonight when he's had to be.
Blackhawks looking for their 17th win of the year. They've lost 7 and they've tied 2. And the Los Angeles Kings looking for their 6th win of the year. In the Hawk zone, the play is broken up by Stan Makita. Makita off the far board, drops it back to Stapleton from the far side of the near side, and Bill White carries it out to his blue line. White to the center line, leading to Coral on the right wing, winding his slap shot, broken up by Marat. It comes right back to Coral, but he's forced into the near corner and now along the backboard, behind and to the left of Gary Edwards. The whistle blows by Art Scove, and we'll have a face-off in the face-off circle to the left of Edwards with exactly 8 minutes left to play in the hockey game. The Hawks leading 5-0.
Your holiday entertaining can be more exciting by serving chilled Isabel Portuguese rosé wine. Is there a better way to say much love?
Face off to the left of Edwards. The draw by Makita back to Bill White. A quick wrist shot is wide to the left side. Bounces off to the far board of the Los Angeles zone. Dennis Hull back to Stapleton at the far point. Almost stealing it was Backstrom and dumped back down into the Hawk zone. Bill White recovering for Chicago. Led to Makita at center ice to Dennis Hull. Dennis Hull to Coral on the right wing over the blue line. Coral carrying into the near corner. His pass deflected. Makita from the backboard tried to center. It was broken up by Joyal, and Joyal takes it into the far corner of the Los Angeles zone. Joyal to his blue line, to the center line, to the Hawk blue line, bringing him over on the left wing. His pass intended for Backstrom, intercepted by Bill White, and back out to center ice. Chico Mackey leading on the left wing to Dennis Hull, winding a slap shot to go! Edwards had a chance to even look at that one, because Dennis Hull suddenly received a perfect pass coming in wide open on the left wing from about 30 feet out. He wound up, and that powerful slap shot of his just sizzled past Edwards into the net. And the Hawks lead by a score of 6-0. Now that puck really moved, Harvey.
He certainly fired it right where it's supposed to be, and we're just going to mention Dennis Hall has been having his tough times in getting goals after a great 40-goal season last year, but he certainly was right on target with his 8th goal of the season. Set up beautifully on a nice cross-ring pass by Chico Mackey.
12:40, the time of the goal. Dennis Hall assisted by Mackey and White. And back in the Hawk zone, a big pile-up off the corner of the crease. Loose puck, cleared back to the far point. Potvin gets a shot away, deflected by Bobby Hull to the backboard, behind the Hawk net. Magnuson throws a solid check and the loose puck into the near corner. And taken by Whiting. Whiting tried to dig it away from Martin on the near board of the Hawk zone. Finally dug out by Chico Mackey. And Chico skates it behind the net to Magnuson, and Magnuson comes out on the right side. Leads to Martin off the near board and out to center ice. Chico Mackey was overled. And the puck goes again to Los Angeles. Nicholson dumping it down into the Chicago zone. Off the far board, Bobby Hull goes behind the net. Scoops it into the near corner and picked up off the near board, Chico Mackey. His lead-out pass deflected right back to him. And the play is broken. Now Magnuson picks it up off the near board and leads to the blue line of Los Angeles, but that's intercepted. And now picked up by Corrigan on the right wing of the Hawk zone, but Doug Jarrett just pokes it back out to center ice and now deflected into the Los Angeles zone. On the near side, and now out to center ice and back to the Hawk blue line on the near board is Magnuson. Magnuson to Jarrett on the far side, and Jarrett to the center line. Leading it, carrying it over the blue line on the left wing, dropping it back to Bobby Hull. Bobby Hull scooping it to Martin, poked away from Martin by Goring, and back to center ice and off the far board. Corrigan has control for the Kings, dropping it back into his own zone on the near side, and taken by Mickelson and out to Pulford. Pulford a long lead into the Hawk zone, but there was an offside play at the Hawk blue line. We'll be back with more after this. There's a lot of action going on here at the stadium, and there's more to come. Enjoy it all with a frosty glass of Meisterbrow Premium Draft Beer. Pour it so cold your thumbprint melts the frost on the glass, and drink deep through the foam. There's a draft beer taste that reaches right down to the bottom of your thirst. Meisterbrow Premium Draft Beer. Meisterbrow Incorporated, Chicago, Toledo, San Francisco. The Los Angeles Kings controlling the puck at center ice, but Jarrett breaks up the play of Bob Pulford and the loose puck all the way back to the backboard of the King zone. And scooped out by Marat, out to center ice. Magnuson intercepting, gives to Jarrett on the far side. He tried to hit Korab over the blue line, but the pass went astray, and it's back at the Hawk blue line. Magnuson to Jarrett on the far side. To Campbell, he can't hold the pass. And led over the Hawk blue line, but Bob Pulford had a skate just about 6 inches over the blue line and offside. 6-0 in favor of the Chicago Blackhawks. Bobby Hull with 2 goals tonight. And most of the crowd here hoping to see if number 9 can get number 3. Chico Mackey has certainly been the playmaker this evening. He has 4 assists. Face-off at center ice, dumped into the Hawk zone off the stick of Smith. He had to make that save on the first hop. Now Campbell for Chicago, wheeling around in the Hawk zone, trying to get it by Pulford. He does, slips, falls down, leads to the near side, and Bill White to the center line on the right wing to Darrell Maggs. Over the blue line of Los Angeles, back to Korab. Korab with a shot, and Edwards makes the save. Reaching out with the glove, the shot was aimed for the upper right-hand corner of the net. And Edwards just reached out and grabbed hold of it, and he held on as the Hawks came in looking for a possible rebound. Children admitted at half price to all Blackhawk home games now on giant screen color theater TV. See the Hawks in action at the Bismarck, Beverly, and Ritz theaters. Children admitted at half price. Groups call Randolph 65400. Face off to the left of Edwards. The draw to no one at the moment. Possession now to Los Angeles as Lonsberry has it in the near corner. Skates almost through his own crease. Carries it out to center ice, but neatly stolen by Maggs, who comes right back into the slot. Maggs in the short right wing. A shot and a goal! The second goal of the evening for Darrell Maggs, and what a beautiful move he made at the blue line to deke his check right out of position. Came in on the short right wing and hit the upper left-hand corner with a snap wrist shot. Beautiful goal. The Blackhawks have it 7-0. From the face-off into the Hawk zone, Darrell Maggs checked from the rear by Pulford. Loose puck goes to Stapleton. Out to center line, and Korab over the blue line on the left wing, leading into the slot, but under lead was Campbell. The loose puck comes to the near board. Picked up now by Lonsbury for Los Angeles, and intercepting at center ice was Bill White for Chicago. Right back to Real Lemieux, but taking it away from him is Darrell Maggs. Leads on the left wing to Brian Campbell. Campbell into the slot to Korab, and Korab couldn't get all the power on the shot. His stick was checked just at the last split second. As Marat comes back out to center ice to Pulford. Pulford to the Hawk blue line, trying to deke his way by, can't do it. Kept in deep to Lonsbury. Lonsbury on his backhand, wheels around, wants to get a forehand underway. He does, it's wide to the right side. And back to Lemieux, now to the far point of Harry Howell. His shot deflected before it got to the goaltender. And the puck is dumped out to center ice and back into the Los Angeles zone and Harry Howell. The Blackhawks leading 7-0. And we have 3.5 minutes left to play. Bobby Hull looking for hat trick. Darrell Maggs looking for hat trick. Center ice play for Backstrom. Backstrom's play broken by Bill White. The loose puck comes right back to him, and Gotti digs at it. But Backstrom holds on. Gives to Potvin over the Hawk blue line on the right wing. Poked away by Stapleton, and the shot from the far point deflected to the backboard of the Hawk zone. Bobby Hull behind the net. Leads out to Angotti. Angotti can't hold the pass, and it goes to Los Angeles at center ice. And dumped back in by Potvin, intercepted by Bill White on the near board of the Blackhawk zone. Bill White to Stapleton on the far side. Led back to Bill White under lead, and the interception poked right back into the Hawk zone, but swept away neatly by Eric Nestorenko off the stick of Backstrom, as Backstrom appeared as if he were going to have a good shot on net. The puck held in the near corner of the Hawk zone and will have a face-off.
Darrell Maggs.
Darrell Maggs scoring the 7th goal of the evening.
Unassisted at 15:24.
15:24, and it's unassisted. The second unassisted goal in the evening for the Chicago Blackhawks. Mikita's goal in the first period was also unassisted. Face-off to the right of Gary Smith. False face-off, we'll do it again. Backstrom moves out of the face-off circle for Los Angeles, and they bring Eddie Joyal in to face Stan Mikita. On the draw to Mikita. Drop back behind the net, and Magnuson. Magnuson to Jarrett. Jarrett to Mikita at the Hawk blue line. Mikita to the center line. Mikita to the blue line of Los Angeles. Mikita wheeling around off the near board, trying to drop it back to Magnuson. Could not do it. Eddie Joyal breaks up the play, and out to center ice. Jarrett pokes it away and gives it to Maggs, and Maggs to Magnuson. And now Jarrett skates it back to the center line and trying to hit Dennis Hollows, deflected in the near corner of the Los Angeles zone. Mickelson has it poked away from him by Maggs, and the loose puck again is taken by Los Angeles. Just exchanging possession here in this last couple of series. Into the Hawk zone, a quick shot is wide to the left side and off the near board. Mickelson dumps it back behind the net. Backstrom centers it out, but it bounces away all the way back to the blue line on the far point, and Potvin is checked in the play. Now back out to center ice, and the Kings have to clear the Hawk zone. Potvin dumping it back into the Los Angeles zone onto the stick of Gary Edwards, and the Seals, rather, well, if you want to call them that, let's call them the Kings instead, shall we? They have possession in their own zone. We have 1 minute and 45 seconds left to play. Center ice play for Magnuson to Mikita. Mikita to the blue line on the right wing. Off the near board, his centering pass broken up by Whiting, and the puck is dumped back to center ice. Magnuson trying to hit Bobby Hull over the blue line on the left wing, and the pass was under lead. Taken by Potvin, being checked by Chico Mackey, and the loose puck dumped down into the Hawk zone as Jarrett threw a check at Potvin, but all he got was boards on the far side. Now Bobby Hull behind the net of the Hawk zone to Chico Mackey. Chico Mackey out to center ice, over lead to Mikita, and the puck skids all the way down to the Los Angeles zone. Touched there by Corrigan. The whistle blows. It's an icing call against Chicago. Fix up a super platter of Leon's bratwurst, wieners, and Polish sausage. The genuine old world sausage. Leon's. The Blackhawks with a solid lead of 7-0, trying to preserve the shutout for Gary Smith. Gary Smith in a Blackhawk uniform has 1 shutout so far this year. And the crowd beginning to get a little bit restless. A lot of the folks starting to move out of Chicago Stadium after having been thoroughly entertained by a fine offensive performance by the Chicago Blackhawks. The Hawks own the puck in their own zone. Bill White, the center ice, leading to Martin at the blue line on the near board. Martin didn't bring it over the blue line because it would have been offside. Chico Mackey was over the line. Less than a minute to play in the game. Stapleton leading to Chico Mackey. That play broken. Right back to Bill White at the center line. And Bill White, a long wrist shot taken by Edwards. And he drops it off to Marat. Marat behind the net. Marat leading on the left wing. And brought out to center ice by Whiting. And Whiting has it deflected by Goring down into the Chicago Blackhawks zone in the far corner. And Bobby Hull dug out of there by Pitt Martin. Martin skating it out, leading out to center ice to Chico Mackey. Chico Mackey over the blue line, leading to Bill Wing up. Bill White on the right wing, the shot, and a save, and poked away from the slot. Coming on for the rebound was Pitt Martin. Poked away from him at just the last second. Back in the Hawks zone, Chico Mackey from the near side to the far side, and Stapleton. And Stapleton returning it to the near side, and Bill White, just 10 seconds left to play in the hockey game. At the Hawk blue line, Chico Mackey leading to Bobby Hull at the blue line. Under his stick, it goes to the far board, into the far corner. Gilles Marat picks it up for Los Angeles, flips it to center ice, and there it is. There's the end of the game with the score. The Chicago Blackhawks 7, and the Los Angeles Kings 0. We'll be back with our recap right after this. Hockey's an exciting sport, exciting to watch, exciting to listen to, and nothing makes that excitement more enjoyable than a cold glass of Meisterbrau premium draft beer, the crowd pleaser, Chicago's big one, and no wonder. This one comes tumbling out of a bottle or can as frosty, crisp, and clear as it does straight from the tap. Meisterbrau gives you more of what you drink beer for. Really pours out the flavor with more deep-down good taste, glass after glass. More honest-to-goodness beer-drinking pleasure. A smoother, mellower draft beer with more of what it takes to reach right down to the bottom of your thirst. So drink up and enjoy the play-by-play broadcasts of all the Blackhawks home games right here on WMAQ. A toast to your listening enjoyment of the Blackhawks games from Meisterbrau Incorporated, Chicago, Toledo, San Francisco. So the Blackhawks really walked away with one tonight against Los Angeles, shutting them out by a score of 7-0. And here's the recap on the game. The first goal came in the first period, 5:38. Bobby Hull, his 13th of the year, assisted by Martin and Mackey. It was 2-0 at 12:06. Darryl Maggs, his second of the year, assisted by Brian Campbell. At 15:54, 3-0 Chicago. Makita, his 10th unassisted. At 17:16, the final scoring of the first period, Pitt Martin, his 8th goal of the year, assisted by Mackey. No scoring in the second period. In the third period, the Blackhawks put 3 more past Los Angeles goaltending. At 2:29, Bobby Hull, his second of the evening, his 14th of the year, assisted by Mackey and Martin. At 12:40, Dennis Hull, his 8th of the year, assisted by Mackey and White. And at 15:24, Darryl Maggs, his 3rd of the season, his 2nd of the evening, unassisted. Shots on goal for the Los Angeles Kings, 30, and for the Chicago Blackhawks, also 30. In the big column, Hawks win it 7-0. Tonight, most of our shell hockey facts have been centered around the Olympic Games. Well, here comes another one. Question: what is the most gold medals won by any hockey player in the Olympics? If you answered 2, you're right. This was achieved by no less than 9 Russian players in the 1968 games. Naturally, the 9 were holdovers from the Russian team that also captured the gold medal in the 1964 games. Now, I'm not going to read you the name of the winners because there's no way in the world that I could ever pronounce those Russian names. You know, I can give you the name of one winner, however, your Shell dealer. He's the guy that runs the Shell station in your neighborhood. He's got a gasoline that's right for your car. Shell, Super Shell, or non-leaded Shell of the future. And he's got motor oil and other fine products that are right for your car, too. Why don't you drive in, say hello, and fill her up. Let him know that you enjoy these broadcasts. He'll be glad to see you, and that's a fact. So now let's go back and replay some of the highlight action of the third period in our hockey game this evening, and we'll go back to where Bobby Hull made it 5-0. Stapleton leading to Bobby Hull on the left wing over the blue line. A flat shot and a save, and no rebound for Chicago. Now Chico Mackey with a rebound. Bobby Hull with a shot and a goal. Blackhawks just kept buzzing around the net in the Los Angeles zone. And finally, the puck moved into perfect position for Bobby Hull. Off to the left of Edwards, about 15 feet away. Perfect position for his wrist shot, and he put it home, and the Hawks lead 5-0. So the score probably indicates the superiority of the Blackhawks here this evening in winning it by a score of 7-0. But as far as the replay is concerned, there were some hockey players on the ice from Los Angeles, and one of them, forcing Gary Smith into spectacular action, was Eddie Joyal. Up by Joyal, coming out all alone in front. A shot, a save, a rebound, another save! Unbelievable goaltending on the part of Gary Smith. He beat Joyal on the point-blank shot, a clear breakaway, and then he beat the follow-up on the rebound from not more than 4 feet away. So with the score 5-0 in the third period, the Blackhawks continued to pile it up on Los Angeles, and this time participating was the Silver Jet, Mr. Dennis. Mackey leading on the left wing to Dennis Hall, winding a slap shot to goal! Doubts if Gary Edwards had a chance to even look at that one, because Dennis Hall suddenly received a perfect pass coming in wide open on the left wing from about 30 feet out. He wound up, and that powerful slap shot of his just sizzled past Edwards into the net, and the Hawks lead by a score of 6-0. And to conclude the Chicago scoring, probably the most exciting night in this young fellow's career, Darryl Maggs, who had scored a goal at 12:06 of the first period, duplicated the effort in the third period at 15:24. Stolen by Maggs, who comes right back into the slot. Maggs on the short right wing, a shot, and a goal! The second goal of the evening for Darryl Maggs, and what a beautiful move he made at the blue line to deke his check right out of position. Came in on the short right wing and hit the upper left-hand corner with a snap wrist shot. Beautiful goal. The Blackhawks have it 7-0. And that's the way it ended at Chicago Stadium this evening, the second shutout of the year for Gary Smith, who was tested, not severely, but on many occasions in a rather spectacular fashion. The Blackhawks pretty well spreading the scoring around, even though Bobby Hull had a chance at a hat, and also Darryl Maggs. Satisfying, to say the least, for Billy Ray and the Chicago Blackhawks in maintaining their undefeated record here at Chicago Stadium with 11-1. And now for the Player of the Game Award, let's go down to our dressing room studio and Harvey Wittenberg.
Bonique, the unique salad dressing. Salute Darryl Maggs as the Blackhawk Player of the Game. Darryl, a big win for us tonight after kind of a rough road trip, and we blanked the Kings and some great goaltending, and of course you did your part with a couple of goals. You're second and third in NHL play. I imagine you feel pretty good right now.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good right now. I'm pretty happy I got those.
Well, you scored our only goal in Oakland on Friday night, and then 2 here tonight, and of course you're playing in a line with Brian Campbell and mostly Jerry Cora during the evening, and of course that's you're mainly defensemen with a center. It's kind of rough for you, I imagine.
Well, it was at the start, but the more I play that position, the more I like it, and I'd like to stay there for a while. I'm going to need a lot more improvement with my skating, but I'm going to work at it.
Well, the key thing, you've been staying defensively with your men, and you haven't been caught out of position. Of course, that's the key factor, and when you do that, you get your opportunities to score.
Well, that's what Coach Ray told us. He said, as long as they don't score any against you, your breaks will come, and it seems to be working that way.
Is it a little difficulty adjusting not only from defense, but from playing with different fellows each time, like Coach Ray is usually with Brian Campbell and Jerry Cora? Have you got any kind of you sit down before the game and work some things out?
Not really. I haven't got set with any line because, like you said, I haven't played with any line that much. So every time I go out there, it's always the same. I'm playing with new guys, and I think as long as you stay on your wing and play your position, it doesn't matter who you play with.
We've gotten 3 goals in 2 games, and as I say, your first 3 goals in the NHL. And last year, as a defenseman down in Dallas, you did pretty good. You had about 14 goals.
Yeah, I had this thing about scoring goals last year, and something about scoring a goal really turned me on.
Playing forward, you have a few more opportunities, and you certainly make 2 beautiful goals tonight.
Thank you very much.
Do you feel that, I guess the main thing you have to fight in your first year is the fact that when you're playing and you're keeping your check on defense, that you don't get too goal conscious and get caught out of position.
That's right. I haven't found it that way so far, but I imagine I'll feel that way later on. I got to remember to come back with my man. As long as you're in the plus, scored more goals than you've had scored against you, you're doing all right, I think.
Well, you're off to a great start in your first year, Darrell, and you're certainly getting in the groove now with 3 goals in the last 2 games. And as the Blackhawk player of the game, you'll receive an assorted case of Bonique, the unique salad dressing. This is Harvey Wittenberg, and now back to Lloyd.
There's nothing timid about the sport of hockey, and there's nothing timid about Bonique red wine, vinegar, and oil salad dressing. Prepared with real California red wine vinegar to give a sassy, sweet taste all its own, man-sized taste that turns an ordinary salad into something exciting. Bonique red wine, vinegar, and oil salad dressing gives your salads the gourmet touch. No matter what your preference may be, Bonique offers a choice of salad dressings to please every taste. Bonique, for the best dressed salads in town. The next home Hawk game is with the New York Rangers, Wednesday, December 8th at 7:30. Remember, 2,000 tickets go on sale before each game. If you can't make it to the stadium, join us on WMAQ 670 at 8:15. Our thanks to our producer, Scott Labauta, and our engineers, John Hoffman and Dan Hozak. This game has been brought to you through the courtesy of Arthur M. Wirtz and the Chicago Blackhawks, and presented by the crowd pleaser, Meisterbrow. Served and enjoyed in more Chicago homes than any other beer brewed anywhere. And your friendly Chicagoland Shell Oil dealers. This has been a Blackhawk Properties Incorporated production. James M. Fitzgerald, executive producer. The WMAQ Scoreboard Show is next here on WMAQ 670. Along with Harvey Wittenberg, this is Lloyd Pettit reporting. The final score, once again, the Chicago Blackhawks 7, the Los Angeles Kings nothing. This has been a presentation of WMAQ Sports.
This is WMAQ Chicago. If all that action out there has made you hungry, the place to go afterwards is Barnaby's. Barnaby's, where the food's the thing, with golden brown master pizzas, hearty sandwiches of the highest quality. Chicago area, maybe one of these.
Here are the replays of the Hawk game just a few minutes ago with Jim West off the Channel 9 News Service on WGN TV. Channel 9 in Chicago.
At a high today of 39, we had a low this morning of 36, only 3 degrees difference. Nowhere near, well, one was near the record, or the normal at 38. The record 62 and 6 above. Neither one of those were in danger for today. Tonight, the fog is going to stay with us, and it's going to be drizzly, and that's kind of what I've got to say. Foggy, cloudy, drizzly, and dreary. It's all there in the upper 30s for tonight. Very little change from what we've got now. Cloudy and foggy, and more of that rain or drizzle tomorrow. Very little sunshine. Highs in the lower 40s. Tuesdays will be the same as Mondays. Wednesday, we might be getting a little cooler in Chicago, and still there is a chance of rain. That's the way I see the weather. Back with us tonight with all the sports news and good news for Hawk fans. Here's Ernie Banks.
Thank you, Jerry. Nice to be back. 111 days before we get back to the friendly confines. We'll have all the sports highlights right after this important message.
Nobody would think of calling a millionaire's yacht a used boat. For the same reason, you wouldn't call a previously owned Lincoln Continental a used car. When dealing with a higher level of luxury, the word used is totally inappropriate. What then do you buy when you buy a previously owned Lincoln Continental or Continental Mark III? You buy a car whose excellence has proved itself. A spacious car. Most even have automatic temperature control and power windows. And no matter which previously owned Continental you choose,
you'll be getting America's most distinguished luxury car at an attractive price. A previously owned Lincoln Continental or Continental Mark III is the next best thing to owning a new one. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer soon. It's a tradition. Philadelphia brand cream cheese from Kraft, because breakfast needs a fresh idea.
Happy time for the Chicago Blackhawks. In the stadium tonight, the Blackhawks remain unbeaten at home with a 7-0 win over the Los Angeles Kings. Bobby Hull opened the scoring early in the first period on a pass play from Pitt Martin. Here it is in slow motion. Hull's 13th goal of the season. Seven minutes later, rookie Darryl Maggs picked up a loose puck and scored his second goal of the season. Here's a replay with Brian Campbell setting up Maggs. Jim West describes the action from the stadium.
That puck, and as he does, he scored on this replay again. Now watch, Makita's there. Vachon figures he can touch the puck and stop the play. He never touches it, and it goes right off him and the defenseman out in front. Mickelson from the point, trying to flip it ahead, poked away by Pitt Martin. 2-on-1 may develop here. Pitt Martin takes a shot. Score! Here it is again. Pitt Martin takes the puck, lugs it into the attack zone. Bobby Hull is flanking him on the left side. Martin elects to shoot and wins the election. Behind the net, Bill White ties up the man while Whitey Stapleton feeds on to the left wing, and Bobby Hull's got it with a shot that's stopped. Potvin loses the backhander right on. Bobby scores! On this replay as it breaks free and he puts it into the net. Can't pick up this pass as White breaks it up out to left wing from Dennis Hull. He scores! Here's a look at that one again. As Dennis Hull picked up that pass from Chico Mackey, and Dennis, who was unable all evening long to strike while the iron was hot, took care of it this time. Face-off picked up this time by Los Angeles as Lonsberry goes right through his own goal mouth and starts out as Maggs catches him neatly. This is Maggs trying to go in. Maggs with a shot. Score! Replay as Darryl Maggs makes it a 7-0 hockey game. The Hawks in the lead.
It was Gary Smith's second shutout and the Blackhawks' 5th of the season, and our congratulations. In other hockey games, Buffalo beat Minnesota 3-1. Minnesota leads the Blackhawks by 3 points. New York beat Vancouver 6-3. Boston beat Pittsburgh 5-3. St. Louis got past Detroit 2-1. Philadelphia shut out California 3-0. In pro basketball, Seattle beat Cleveland 99-91. There were a number of upsets in pro ball today, but the Bears-Denver game did not qualify as an upset. The final score sounds like a baseball season is already underway. The Broncos beat the Bears 6-3 on 2 field goals by Jim Turner. The winner coming with 2 minutes remaining. The Bears were held to 66 yards today, and their playoff hopes vanished. Just too bad. In other games, San Diego upset Minnesota 30-14. The Chargers scored 20 points in the 4th quarter. Another upset, Philadelphia beat Detroit 23-20 on a touchdown with 1 minute remaining. The loss may have knocked the Lions out of the playoffs. Green Bay tied St. Louis 16-16 on a 27-yard field goal as time ran out. Willie Ellison ran for 247 yards as the Los Angeles beat New Orleans 45-28. Washington had an easy time and beat the New York Giants 23-7. Another upset, Atlanta beat Oakland 24-13. The Raiders have lost 2 straight. Jim Plunkett celebrated his 24th birthday by leading New England to a 34-13 upset over Miami. That ended an 8-game winning streak for the Dolphins. Baltimore shut out Buffalo 34-0 and moved a half a game behind Miami. Cincinnati's playoff hopes ended when the Bengals beat them 31-27 by Cleveland. Houston eliminated Pittsburgh 29-3. Cleveland has cinched the divisional title. In golf, Jack Nicklaus shot a 70 today and has a third-round lead in the Walt Disney World Open at Orlando, Florida. Bert Yancey is 1 stroke behind. Arnold Palmer is 3 shots back. The Texas 500 auto race was rained out today. That's it in sports. I'm Ernie Banks. The WGN News Service continues in a moment.
People who don't need it, drink it. Folks not on a diet, try it. People who've heard of it, love it.
You're not on a diet, try it. Everybody likes it.
Diet Right Cola.
Everybody likes it. Diet Right Cola.
Everybody likes it. And you know why?
'Cause it tastes so good.
Diet Right Cola. Everybody likes it.
Diet Right Cola.
Everybody likes it.
Diet Right Cola.
You don't have to give up good taste to save on calories. Diet Right Cola has only half the calories of regular cola. But it tastes so good. Everybody likes it.
Diet Right Cola. Everybody likes it.
And you know why? Because it tastes so good.
Diet Right Cola.
Everybody likes it.
Claus, the Hair Bear Bunch, the Banana Splits, and surprise guests. Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday at Children's Village, 1600 Deerfield Road in Highland Park.